praise to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakaha Kodash. Double honors to my elders, apostles, and the bishops of Great Millstone, or GMS for short. All right, this is where I have learned this truth and where I am still learning this truth. And also shalom to the remnant and the elect of Israel. Lord willing, I am of that number. All right, so this video is going to be, well, Lord willing, this next couple of videos, all right, will be part 2 and 2.5 of the title. All right. First part, we're going to go into the prophecy that we find in Revelation 13, verses 16 and 17. All right. We're going to get some, we're going to expound on that a little bit. And then the next video after that will be going into the search engine and finishing reading up on an article that we started with the last video. Okay, we'll go into that article more. All right, so let's go ahead and start. All right, let's start. Hold on a second. Hold on. Hold on a minute. What the? All right, here we go. Okay. The hell? All right. Blue letter. Okay. So, actually, hold on. Might as well pull this other one up and get it ready. Okay. All right, so we're going to touch on Revelation. Okay. Chapter 13 and verses 16 and 17. All right. So Revelation 13, verse 16, it reads, and he, all right, this he is speaking of Esau, Edom. All right. This he is speaking of the wicked. All right. This he is speaking of the self-called and so-called white man. Okay. So give me a second. Give me a second. Actually, I'm gonna let this run. Give me a second. All right. All right, so let's let's explain this. All right, the he being Esau, Edom, the wicked, and the self-called and so-called white man. What do we mean by this? First, does that mean that everyone that looks so-called white is an Edomite? No, because in Deuteronomy, let's go here. Deuteronomy 20 or 30. Let me see. Deuteronomy 28 and 15. Let's go here first. Oops. Oh, hold on. All right. Deuteronomy 28 and um starting at verse 15, all right? The subheading of this chapter, all right? When you get to verse 15, above verse 15 it reads consequences of disobedience. Okay? So, from 15 all the way to 68, it lists curses, right? Consequences of disobedience. Okay, but here in the 64th verse, it reads, and the Lord shall scatter thee among all people, from one end of the earth even unto the other. And there thou shalt serve other gods, which neither thou nor thy fathers have known, even wood and stone. All right, I'll read 65 also. All right, and among these nations shalt thou find no ease, neither shall the sole of thy foot have rest, but the Lord shall give thee there a trembling heart, and failing of eyes, and sorrow of mind. And thy life shall hang in doubt before thee, and thou shalt fear day and night, and shall have none assurance of thy life. All right, and if we go back up to verse 48 here, it reads, well, I'll start at let me start here in 45. Right, it reads, moreover, all these curses shall come upon thee, and shall pursue thee, and overtake thee, till thou be destroyed, because thou hearkenest not unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to keep his commandments and his statutes, which he commanded thee. And they shall be upon thee for a sign and, and for a wonder, and upon thy seed forever. All right, this would be a banner of whom Israel is. Okay, these curses. Okay, it goes on to read. This is verse 47 now. Because thou servest not the Lord thy God with joyfulness and with gladness of heart, for the abundance of all things, all right, because we have been surrounded with the abundance of blessings from the Lord. Okay, all right, in the Lord's Prayer, it tells you to ask for your daily bread. All right, a lot of us get in this mindset where we get greedy. All right, okay, so now verse 48 of Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter. Therefore, thou shalt serve thine enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee, in hunger, and in thirst, and in nakedness, and in want of all things. And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he hath destroyed thee. All right, and that was a physical thing. Okay, this yoke of iron around our neck, but also in this day, okay, today, there is a yoke of iron, all right, around most Israelites' minds, all right, with the philosophies, the beliefs, the idols of these other gods. All right, remember it said that we would serve here down here in 64. And the Lord thy God shall scatter thee among all people from one end of the earth even unto the other, and there thou shalt serve other gods, which neither thou nor thy fathers have known, even wood and stone. So being caught up in these philosophies is a part of these curses, man. And a lot of people, despite hearing the truth, all right, a lot of Israelites, despite hearing this truth, cannot escape this spiritual yoke of iron that they have on their minds. All right, they can't get away from these curses. The only ones that can come out from this sleep, that will come out from this sleep, are the remnant and the elect of Israel, which over here in America, only 1/3 of Israelites over here in America will awake, okay, out of this sleep. Now let's touch on that really quick. All right, let's see. This is Romans 13 and 11. And that knowing the time, that now is high time to awake out of sleep. For now is our salvation nearer than we believed. And every second that ticks away, all right, it is closer. It gets closer and closer. All right, we don't know exactly when the Lord is going to return. Okay, we know what time it is according to the prophecies, according to the scriptures. We know that the night is far spent. Let me get that really quick. Actually, before I go there, all right, we know the time in the scriptures. All right, when I say we, I'm speaking of the remnant and the elect, the only ones who are taking heed to these things that the scriptures say. Okay, that's the only people that are taking heed, are the remnant and the elect. All right, other people are hearing bits and pieces, all right, that have them scared, all right, or that they take to build their comfortable castle, all right, their comfortable domain, but they won't take heed to the rest of these things, all right. They take what sounds soothing to them. Okay, where was I gonna go? Let me see. And that knowing the time, that now is a high time to wake. Okay, the night is far spent. All right, let me get this really quick. Okay, let's see. Romans 13:12. Wow, it was right below. It was right below. If I would have read down, we would have ended up there. Oh wait, no. Oh yeah, it was. It was the next verse. All right. So I'll start at 11 again. All right. It says, "And that knowing the time, that now it is high time to awake out of sleep. For now is our salvation nearer than we believed." All right. This is the remnant and the elect. Okay. This is a trait of the remnant and the elect. All right. We know what time it is. We know it's time to wake out of sleep. We know that now our salvation is nearer than we believed, and we meditate on these things. All right. The next verse, though, listen to this: Romans 13 and 12. The night is far spent. The day is at hand. All right. What day is that? The day of the Lord. The day for the Lord to come back. Okay. And bring our salvation. All right. To put away these other nations. Put down Esau. All right. Anyway, the night is far spent. The day is at hand. Let us therefore cast off the works of darkness, again a trait of the remnant and the elect. All right, let us therefore cast off the works of darkness, and let us put on the armor of light, which is what? Okay, this truth. All right, this truth. Okay, um, so there was something else that came to mind. Let me go back to that verse. Okay, where were we? It was. So I read, "In that knowing the time, now is the time to wake out of sleep, for our salvation is nearer than we believed." All right. Maybe it'll come back, maybe it won't. Let's okay. So again, the point being, here in Deuteronomy, to go back to the answer to the question, all right, here in Deuteronomy 28 and 64, the question was, if you look so-called white, does that make you an Edomite? No, all right. If you missed it, again, Deuteronomy 28:64, and the Lord shall scatter thee among all people, from one end of the earth even unto the other. Okay. As a consequence of our disobedience, this is what has happened. Israelites are among all nations, and we look like all nations. Okay. Even so-called white people. Okay. All right. Now, let's go and touch on what else we said about this and he. Okay. So, we said and he is the wicked. We said and he is Esau Edom. We said and he is the so-called, self-called, so-called white man. Let's touch on that a little bit more. All right. Ecclesiastes 1 and 9. All right. Ecclesiastes 1 and 9. It says, the thing that hath been, it is that which shall be. And that which is done is that which shall be done, and there is no new thing under the sun. All right. This speaks of reincarnation. Reincarnation is biblical. All right. So if the same spirits are coming back down here, all right, the same situations are going to keep happening over and over. This is what is important about learning our history, all right, learning what's going on today and learning what's coming in the future, all right. Let's get Romans 3:17 really quick. Hold on. It wasn't Romans 3:17. Hold on. Romans 15:4. Hold on. Yeah, let's go there. Hold on. Romans. All right, Romans 15:4. For whatsoever things were written aforetime were written for our learning, that we, again, the remnant and the elect, okay, that we, through patience and comfort of the scriptures, might have hope. Okay, this is what is important about knowing the things that happened before. All right, knowing the things, this our whole history. All right, which is these scriptures. All right, the Lord left this down here for us, man. Okay, so this is what's important. We learn from these things. Okay, we learn that we have to go through the suffering. All right, that word patience goes back to suffering. All right, and through this suffering, we find comfort. Okay, knowing that these things are faithful and true, and that the Lord is on our side. All right, let's get this other scripture really quick. Okay, let's see. All right, so yeah, all things were written aforetime for our learning. All right, that is what is important about uh, reading up, growing in spirit. Okay, because all these things were written aforetime, before our time. Okay, so with that in mind, we're still on the subject of he is the self-called and so-called white man. Okay, we got a little bit of understanding about that, right? You should know already that just because you look so-called white doesn't make you an Edomite. And how can we say that and then say that Esau is the so-called white man? Give me a second, all right? Keep keep Ecclesiastes 1:9 in mind, and we're going to go to First Maccabees, the 3rd chapter, and we're going to start at around the 45th verse, I believe. Okay. First Maccabees 3:45. Now Jerusalem lay void as a wilderness. There was none of her children that went in or out. The sanctuary also was trodden down, and aliens kept the stronghold. The heathen had their habitation in that place, and joy was taken from Jacob, and the pipe with the harp ceased. Okay. Verse 46. Wherefore the Israelites assembled themselves together and came to Maspha over against Jerusalem. For in Maspha was the place where they prayed aforetime in Israel. Okay. Then they fasted that day and put on sackcloth and cast ashes upon their heads and rent their clothes, right? In mourning for the state of our people and our land. Okay. This is the point. Verse 48 of First Maccabees, the 3rd chapter. And laid open the book of the law, wherein the heathen had sought to paint the likeness of their images. Okay? All right. Now you keep that in mind, and we're going to go now to Malachi 1 and 4. We'll tie all this together. All right. Just keep all these things in mind. If we lose you, all right, you can go back and take notes, man. Take notes. A short pencil is better than a long memory. All right, so take notes and pray. All right, you have to pray. You have to pray in all faith. All right, that the Lord bestow faith on you. Okay, and that He sups with you so that you can understand. So that He sends the Holy Spirit to you so that you can understand. All right, but this is Malachi 1 and verse 4. Whereas Edom saith, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, they shall build, but I will throw down, and they shall call them the border of wickedness, and the people against whom the Lord hath indignation forever. Let's look a little bit in this. I want to see what these other translations say. All right. All right, this is the ESV. If Edom says, we are shattered, but we will rebuild the ruins, the Lord of hosts says, they may build, but I will tear down, and they will be called the wicked country, and the people with whom the Lord is angry forever. All right, hold on a second. This is a NASB 20. It says, though Edom says, we have been beaten down, but we will return and build up the ruins. This is what the Lord of armies says. They may build, but I will tear down, and people will call them the territory of wickedness, and the people with whom the Lord is indignant forever. All right? So, remember, we said he is Esau Edom, the wicked, the self-called and so-called white man. All right, we touched on that already. Now, let's keep on us fleshing this out some. All right, let me see, that would be called Okay, now let's go to Job 9 and 24. Okay, all right. Okay, Job 9 and 24. Now listen up. It says, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covereth the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? Two clues. One, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. Okay. Second, he covereth the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? Since things happen over and over again, you remember what we read in 1 Maccabees 3, verse 45 through 48. Right, that the heathen sought to paint their images in the book of the law. What's the book of the law? All right, this Bible. Okay. Now, who has been peddled as the Messiah? What image do you think of when you think of the Messiah? Okay. All right. What does he look like? What about the Most High? What about in that mural, the finger of Adam or the finger of God, whatever it's called? What do they look like? What does the Messiah look like? That image that popped up in your head. All right. What about that name? Okay. What about the angels? What about the disciples? All right. That picture of the Last Supper. All right. They all look one way. Although the Lord, all right, the Messiah is described in these scriptures one way, they have him painted a whole different way, and that image has ran through the earth, all right, to and fro. Okay, all right, they all look the same. Okay, then you ask them, well, in this day, they're starting to admit that that image doesn't directly or doesn't hold up to what the description is. All right, but now they're telling you it doesn't matter how he looks. Okay, it matters for the truth's sake. It matters for the sake of the truth. Okay, and if it didn't matter, why did you change it? All right. Also, another thing they say is that he is a Middle Eastern man. All right, and all these images, I've never seen them portray the Messiah or the Lord or the angels. Okay, or the disciples as Middle Eastern men. Okay, this is the heathen painting their own images. All right, and don't forget about the first part of this verse. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covereth the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? Okay, let's do one more thing. All right, this is Daniel 4 and 17. Hmm. All right, Daniel 4 and 17. This matter is by the decree of the watchers and the demand by the word of the holy ones, to the intent that the living may know that the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men, and giveth it to whomsoever he will, and setteth up over it the basest of men. All right, the wicked. Esau, Edom. Now, here's another thing right here. This is the Zondervan's Compact Bible Dictionary. We're going to look at this entry for Edom. It says Edom, Edomites. It says the nation and its people who were the descendants of Esau. He founded the country, so his name is equated with Edom. The country was also called Seir or Mount Seir, which was the name of the territory in which the Edomites lived. Okay, and if you go to the bottom of this entry for Edom, it reads, Edom figures prominently in the prophetic scriptures as the scene of great future judgments. She is the only neighbor of the Israelites who was not given any promise of mercy from God, all right? Which is why it says in Malachi 1 and 4, all right, at the end of that verse, it says, the people against whom the Lord hath indignation forever. Okay? All right? And even up above that, Malachi 1 and 3, it says, and I hated Esau and laid his mountains and his heritage waste for the dragons of the wilderness. All right? You are about to inherit nothing, Esau. Okay? Your heritage has been laid waste. Okay? This is your heaven now. Okay? You better enjoy it now. All right? Rejoice, ye heavens. All right? So, let's get back to Revelation 13. Okay? Revelation 13. We covered this and he. All right? So now you know. More specifically, all right? This he is the banking families, okay, the elite of Esau Edom. All right. So and he causeth all. Okay, how else would you be able to cause all unless the earth was given to your hand? All right, unless the Lord set you up. All right, just to prove that he, not just to prove, but to show that he rules in the kingdom of men. You are the basis of men. You are the weakest of these nations, but the Lord gave you your power. All right, and you don't even realize that, man. Your pride is set too high, man. Not too high, but just right. All right, the Lord set you up good, man. He set you up nice. All right. So how else would the and he causeth all unless he has that power? Okay, this word causeth, let's go here really quick, is
Strong's G 4160. Poieo. Poieo.
okay. Poieo. It says to make, all right, to bring forth, right, to cause, okay. It says to be the authors of, okay, the cause, to make ready, all right, to make one do something, all right. Down here at the bottom, it says to make ready and so at the same time to institute, okay. And that's going to be key with this reading, all right. So keep that in mind, to make ready and so at the same time to institute. So let's go back here to the verse, Revelation 13 and 16. And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. Okay, verse 17. Actually, before we go to 17, let's talk a little bit more about 16. All right, so causeth all, to make ready and so at the same time to institute. All right, these people like to cause certain problems, get a reaction, so they can bring forth the solution that they've been wanting to bring forth anyway. All right, but they have to go about their whole process. All right, so they cause a problem, they wait for the reaction, and then people damn near beg for their solution that they were going to bring forth, that they've been wanting to bring forth anyway. All right. No matter where Esau Edom goes, there he is. Same tactics. All right. Same old tactics, and they're tired. All right. They are tired as tactics, and still they're going to draw a lot of people in because people don't consider the Lord. They're not protected by the Lord like the remnant and the elect are. All right. So they believe the delusions that this man pushes out. All right. They are easily taken by this man's craft, his divination, all right, his lies. All right. If it were possible, okay, let me get this. All right. This is Matthew 24:24. Matthew 24:24, it says, "For there shall arise false messiahs and false prophets, and shall show great signs and wonders, insomuch that if it were possible, they shall deceive the very elect," but it's not possible. All right, that's why it says, if it were possible. It is not possible. All right, the Lord has to be with you in these days to not fall for this man's philosophies. All right, I spoke the other day and I said, even if you don't think you're going the way of this man, you're still outside of the temple or outside of the truth. All right, but if you are going anyway outside of this truth, you are going the way of this man. All right, their whole thing is to separate you from your power. Okay, to cut you off. Psalm 83. Let's go here really quick. All right, Psalm 83rd chapter. I'll start at verse 2, right? It says, "For lo, thine enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people, and consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, Come, let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance." All right, and for most of Israel, since this message is geared towards America now, right, the focus is on America. Most Israelites, 2/3 of the Israelites, have fell for this. All right, they don't remember their name, right? They don't remember that they are the sons of God, man. That they are the sons of Yahweh, the brothers and sisters of Yahweh Shai. All right, they forget where they come from. Okay, they like hearing this, but they won't act accordingly, which means you don't remember. Because if you remembered the power of our Lord, if you remembered the power of the Almighty, Al-Shajah, okay, if you had the fear of the Lord, all right, you would come back, but you don't remember, all right. Now let's go back here to Revelation 13:16, all right. "And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads," right? This is warning you about a certain technology that is already in the earth, all right? This prophecy hasn't come to pass, though, all right? Okay? Because of these first four words haven't happened yet. "And he causeth all," right? He's going to make this thing mandatory, all right? But the technology that is being warned about is the micro C-hip or the RFID C-hip. Okay? A couple of examples of this technology is Walletmore Walletmor, and Neuralink, okay, or Elon Musk's brain technology. All right. The technology itself is not sin. The technology itself is not sin. Okay? It is the receiving of this technology into your body, literally, okay? That is sin, right? That is going against what the Lord is telling you here. All right? So when you go look up those two examples, don't be so worried about the names as much as filtering the technology through Revelation 13, verses 16 and 17. And we'll get to why 17 also. All right? So again, that technology itself is not sin, but the receiving of this technology is sin. Okay? So you have to filter not only this technology through the scriptures, you have to filter yourself through these scriptures to see if you have to see which way you're walking, man. Right? The Lord tells you to be circumspect. You have to see which way you are walking. All right, we can't even be presumptuous. The ones who are taking heed to the best of their ability to this truth, we can't even be presumptuous. All right. So what makes you think that you can? Okay, not paying attention to these truths. All right. So filter yourself through these scriptures. Also, it would do you good to do this. All right. Also, filter the world through these scriptures. Which way is this world going? If World War III was to happen today, you would have the EU nations, all right, NATO in them, okay, all the European nations, okay, that are gathered to America, all right, against the BRICS nations, Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa, okay, with many more countries that have joined that. But they all talk about going in one direction, digital. Right? All these fiat currencies are on the downslope. Okay? We're all headed towards the digital age, man. We're all damn near already in it. When's the last time or how often do you use cash? Have you heard stories about banks refusing to make transactions in cash or places of business? All right, we're almost already all the way into this thing, man. Okay, all your money is numbers on the screen, right? And all that money is going to be on these C-hips pretty soon. Okay, all right, which is where verse 17 comes in. Revelation 13 and 17. And that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. So you're not going to be able to participate in society unless you pledge allegiance to this man. So let's go into Revelation 13 and 16. And here is the Greek word for the English word mark in the context of Revelation 13 and 16. Okay?
Strong's G 5480. Charagma. Charagma.
All right, charagma. It says a stamp, an imprinted mark. It says of the mark stamped on the forehead or the right hand as the badge of the followers of the Antichrist. That's what the world calls, okay, what we know as being the anti-messiahs, okay, the ones that are against the Messiah. All right, there isn't just one man that's going to come and call himself the Antichrist and be against the Lord. Most of the world, all right, with a possibility of you also walking in the way of an Antichrist. All right, if you don't know the Lord's name, if you call him some other name, all right, what is that? Okay, All right. If you say that the laws are dead, what is that? All right. If you scoff at his men for telling you the truth, leading you down the good path, all right, what is that? Okay. Most people would love to think that they wouldn't fall for what Eve fell for in the Garden of Eden, in the garden east in Eden. All right. But as a matter of fact, most of the world have or has fallen, all right, for the divination of the seed of the serpent. All right. You've fallen for his craftiness, his lies. Okay. So that's why it's important to filter yourself through these scriptures also. All right. So Strong's definition of charagma, it reads a scratch or etching, i.e., stamp as a badge of servitude. Okay? So they are also telling you the same thing that the Lord is telling you. There isn't going to be a gray area. Either you're going to receive this badge, make a pledge to them, all right, by doing so, or you're going to be ousted out of society. You're not going to be able to buy or sell. All right, this thing, blockchain, was already said to be able to track everything. All right, every single thing. Okay. All right, and if don't think that you're going to be able to survive off the land, they are going to come and get you. All right, the only protection out of this is with the Lord, man. Okay, that's it. That's all, and that's it. All right, but the Lord is also telling you the same thing. There are no gray areas with Him. You are either His or not. Okay. So how else do you get shelter, food, clothing without the buying or selling? All right. So you have a decision to make. All right. You may think that you will be able to survive, but what about your kids, your wife, your mother, father, your grandparents? What about your friends? And I'm not just saying are they going to be able to survive. I'm saying what if they use them as a carrot? Okay. All right. Are you going to be able to withstand watching them go through torture because you won't take this C-hip? They're going to find ways to get you to take this. It's going to start off friendly, all right, with convenience, with peace and safety, all right? And then they're going to make threats. They're going to make you offers that you can't refuse that won't be empty, all right? They're not going to be empty threats. We are going to find out why the Lord hath indignation with these people forever and why they didn't receive any promise of mercy from Yahweh, all right? Which Yahweh is the name of the one that the world ignorantly calls God. All right, God is a trait and a title, but his name is Yahweh. All right, and his son's name is Yahweh Shai. All right, he is also a God. Okay, he is second only to Yahweh. All right, but that is whom the world ignorantly calls Jesus. Okay, their names, their images have all been blasphemed by this man. The Spirit has been blasphemed by this man. They are the wicked. And the Lord is making them bare now. Nobody can deny this. Okay? All right? They are the wicked. Period. Okay? So now let's go. We gave you the two examples and we told you what the mark was. We told you that you won't be able to buy or sell without it. All right? Because the earth is given into their hand. And, all right, they are ruling at this point. Okay? But they are going to be taken out. All right, so this was part two. Okay, the next part will be a little bit quicker video. All right, it's going to be part 2.5, continuing on with some article that we found, all right, and reading a little bit about um, the biotech trends of 2025, as the title states. Okay, so Lord willing, you will see in the next video. All right, so with that, all praise to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakaha, Kwadash. Double honors to my elders, apostles, and the bishops of Great Millstone, or GMS for short. This is where I have learned this truth, and this is where I am still learning this truth. All right, and also shalom to the remnant and the elect of Israel. Remember, Israel was scattered into all nations of the earth. All right, so if you feel some type of way about this truth, all right, you have to be an Israelite. All right, you can't just empathize and sympathize with the truth and think that you're going to find your way over here into Israel without being an Israelite. That's number one. You have to be an Israelite. Number two, if you feel a pull to this truth and you want to start telling this truth, all right, you want to learn, all right, you start learning, you truly repent, all right, don't fight that if you're feeling that. Don't fight it just because of how your skin look, all right? Israel was scattered into all nations, okay? If the Lord wills you come into this thing and endure, no matter what you look like, you may be chosen of the remnant and the elect, okay? But if you aren't, the Lord is going to find some way to filter your ass right out of this thing, okay? All right. Also, the remnant and the elect are the only people whom the Lord in this day is blessing with the gift of faith, all right, the eyes to see, the ears to hear, and the endurance to last until the Lord comes back. All right, so Lord willing, I'm of that number, and Lord willing, we'll see you in the next video. Shalom.